Hey there. You probably weren't expecting like a webcam here if you watch my video. So, this is a tier list that I wanted to do. Yeah, it's me ranking the Banjo-Kazooie levels because I just recently finished a replay of it, and yeah, the game's still peak for me. But I do have some issues which I will express through some of the levels here. I'll explain. But this is my second tier list. The first one I did, I think, like a half a year ago or something. It was ranking the Mario series, each Mario series, which I wish that could have done better, but I don't know. Some of my friends told me, put your face in there, let them see something else besides, the just the tier list itself. I'm like, yeah, whatever. This is a bit more chill, and I just kind of wanted to put my face there. So let's go ahead and get started. Here's a tier list here. It's going S to D. S being masterclass type of level. A is an amazing level. B is it's a great level, but it does have quite a bit of it has some issues, or it just doesn't really live up to all that much. C, it's that I think it's good, but it's pretty flawed, almost borderline. I don't really like it. And D is that I don't really think it's good, which I don't think that's gonna be the case with the first game. I like every single level. Now I'm not gonna be doing Banjo-Tooie's levels. I'll do that in a separate video because I'm gonna do a replay of Tooie as well soon. So when I finish that replay, I'll do a follow up to this video, to the Tooie levels. Okay, without further ado, let's start. First, we have Spiral Mountain. Okay, Spiral Mountain is such a great beginning. Like it sets the tone of the game so perfectly. You're in your very chill house. You get introduced to Banjo and Kazooie. You have bottles there, and I love the aesthetic of their house, the way it looks on the outside, the inside with all like the neat little colorful furniture, the portraits, even like the Project Dream poster, which was like Banjo-Kazooie before it became Banjo-Kazooie back in the Super Nintendo. But such a neat house. This is one of the, like, when I was younger, that house I wanted to live in so bad. I was like, I love their house. But this Spiral Mountain we're talking about, so let's talk about the mountain. Okay, so the mountain itself, there's not much to do. I do like the sentient creatures, vegetable creatures. They're neat. I just like how there's like a floating cauliflower. It's silly. But the Spiral Mountain itself is nice, and it sets a nice tone that you're like heading towards certain, you're heading towards a dangerous lair, and it's like a nice build up, you going up that spiral. Plus it's iconic, Spiral Mountain. The music is inviting, and it feels like you're going on an adventure. I'll put it in B. I think it's great. It's not much to do. I think the most you can do here is like learn the moves, which you can just skip anyway, and you can get some honeycomb pieces. Okay. Next this is not really a world or a level. It's same thing with Spiral Mountain. They're just more of like the starter hub, and this is more of the hub world. But you can get 10 jiggies here, so I count it as a world, and it's easy S tier. It's one of my favorite hub worlds of all time. Super iconic. It's so unique that you like go inside of Gruntilda's lair, this witch, and she has such a nice layout of this place. It's like it's a nice progression feel where you first enter, you have Mumbo's mountain to the right, and each of the levels have like their own unique theming outside of the levels, with the music changing, and the music itself, the theme of the lair, again, super iconic. One of my favorite tracks. It's probably my favorite track of the whole game. It's just so catchy, and yeah, just this place, I love walking around, finding all the little secrets, pressing all the buttons inside of each level to like spawn a G here, because it's like a nice way to interact and interconnect the layer and the levels. It's such a fantastic implementation of a hub world in this genre. So one of my favorites. Future Python here, currently editing. I just wanted to point out that I had left a crucial part about Gruntilda's lair I didn't mention, and I'll just plop it right here. It's about Grunty's Furnace Fun. This is basically Gruntilda's like last resort before you actually fight her in the end game, and it's basically one of my favorite end games of all time. It's one of my favorite things a video game has ever done. It's, I think, the pinnacle of meta commentary. Pretty much you have to be on a game board over a pit of lava, which already sounds cool as is, but she pretty much asks you questions about the game itself, like the levels you're in, the characters, even questions about herself and her secrets, sounds that she plays, and there's like a whole bunch of different like tiles that do different things, and it's just a lot of fun. And every time that I do it, I have to do every single square like I did with my replay. But yeah, back to the tier list. All right, now let's get to the actual first world, Mumbo's Mountain. I'm gonna put this in C, because it's the first level. It's very basic. The music has a nice jingle, and I do like the way the music changes when you like go near the totem pole that Mumbo has, and the monkeys like introduces like some nice drums. So the music has some nice dynamic parts, and but walking around the area, there's not really much to do. I do like the Stonehenge reference little area there where you can get a Jinjo and a Jiggy. The transformation, the ant, I don't particularly feel that strong about. It's probably my least favorite in the game, so that, you know, that kind of hurts the level. So yeah, I like it. It's a good introduction. I mean, you do learn how to shoot eggs and climb, you know, steep hills, so it does have that. But besides that, it's a little basic, but it's a good start. Next, this one is the complete opposite. Easy S tier, Treasure Trove Cove. It does a complete 180, and it like wows me in every sense every single time I replay this game. This level is super strong with the theming. You know, you're like in a beach and it's pirate themed with Captain Blubber and his ship. The music is so enticing. It really puts you in like a boogie mood. Yeah, makes me move every time I play. The Jiggies here are fun to get. It's quite a lot larger than Mumbo's Mountain, so there's a lot more to walk around and find. It has the sandcastle. Like, the sandcastle itself is super iconic and cool because it's where you go to implement the cheat codes that you find around with Cheeto, and you know, even like cheat codes that aren't in the game that you can still use and stuff, the stop and swap things. This place is just super iconic, and it also has the giant crab, hermit crab enemy, which it's a little funny that you just go over there to bully the poor guy. I do feel bad for him, but yeah, fantastic level. It's my favorite level that isn't the hub world, but yeah, hands down, it's just so iconic. It's so good. Now the third world, Clanker's Cavern. Now we take a bit of a dip here, unfortunately, but I still think it's not above Spiral Mountain. I still think it's a decent B tier. I think it's great. I love Clanker. It's like this big metallic garbage disposal fish that Gruntilda has. I love how you can like knock out his teeth to to make him feel better because of all like the grinding of the garbage. And when you go inside him, it's like this expansive. Now upon this replay, I used to be kind of weirded out that you go inside of this, you know, fish, and there's like all this like organic insides, and there's like things to get inside. But I don't know, I've come to really appreciate it much more upon this replay. I really like how expansive it feels on the inside, and there's quite a bit to do. There's some jiggies to get, and you even learn like the invincibility feather, which is really cool. And it's also where the switch is, you know, so you can make a jiggy pop out in the hub world. But the level itself outside of Clanker is where I'm like, you know, Clanker himself I'd put in A tier, like the fish. but everything else I put like in C. I think it's good, like, it's mostly water, and there are like some sectioned off places you can go through with the water, but not really much else to say besides that. There are some neat, like the way that they hide the honeycombs is a bit neat though, like underneath pipes and stuff. They can be pretty hidden. But yeah, I like the music as well. I like the theming of this cavern, so I think it's great overall. Alright, fourth world we have uh, Bubblegloop Swamp. Now, um, I don't know if this is a hot take, but okay, I do like Bubblegloop Swamp. I think it's good. I love the theming of the swamp itself is very strong. I am very irritated by the piranha infested waters, as I don't know, I think there's a little too much of it here, but it makes sense, it's a swamp. But I don't know, a lot of the jiggies here just aren't that fun to get. There's the one, like the two timed attack ones, where like you press a switch and the jiggy appears and you have a certain amount of time to get it before it disappears. The first one isn't that bad, but it's the second one that's near Mumbo's house that's insufferable, because if you fall off, then you have to go through all the whole maze that leads up to Mumbo's. It's like that leads to Mumbo's house, and it's like it's slow and sluggish because you have to use the boots to get there, because it's the piranha infested waters, and it takes a while, and it's so tedious. So a lot of some of the jiggies here are kind of annoying to get. I do like transformation, the crocodile, it's neat, but this is probably my second least favorite in the game. So that kind of hurts it as well. There's kind of a theme there. The two of my least favorite transformations are in the lowest tier with the levels, but I do like the music. The music's pretty good. What else can I say? Oh yeah, it's a crocodile. I don't like the minigame associated with it. You have to go inside of like a giant crocodile or alligator. I don't know which one it is. But you have to like eat more than the other opponent or something, and it's really irritating. That's how I died. And I was like at 80 something notes, and I had to get all those notes again, which is really annoying because you have to go back and forth between the transformation and just regular Banjo-Kazooie, because some notes are in the water and some notes I think are in the inside of the crocodile. Very annoying note placements, but yeah, I know I'm being very harsh, but I do like it, okay? I think the giant tortoise, and inside there being like a music school with the frogs is pretty funny, and I do give it some points for that, so yeah. Bubblegloop Swamp, I think low C is fine. Alright, now we're moving on to the fifth world, Freezeezy Peak. Now, is it peak? I wouldn't say that. I would put it in A tier. The theming is one of the strongest in the game. It's like this winter Christmas theme. You have giant snowman. It's you have it's where you learn how to fly, which is very essential. It's really cool. I love flying in this game. It's you have the tall Christmas tree. You have the jiggy where you have to help the Christmas lights get to the tree, and that's always I always like doing that one. The walrus transformation, which I actually really like. I like the walrus because you can like have access to Waz's cave, and that's where the ice key is. And I don't know. I kind of plus I like the frozen water more than piranha infested water, so that's just me. But yeah, I love the theming of this world. It's super strong. The song is super catchy and jolly, and I don't know. I like how you can climb the scarf of the snowman. It's very fun to do. There's a lot of things to do here, and I think it just excellent level. Again, not complete peak like these two, but very, very solid. I think it's an amazing level for sure. Oh yeah, and Boggy, please give those kids your presents. Don't make some random bear do it for you, okay? They're miserable. I do like giving those kids their Christmas gifts though. All right, Gobi's Valley, the sixth world. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, You get the running shoes here in Gobi's Valley, which you need to get one Jiggy here in Freezeezy Peak. It's the second sled race. Sled race after you win the first sled race with the walrus, and I find that pretty annoying. So that also does kind of hurt it from being an S tier. But at Gobi's Valley, I'll put it right behind Freezeezy Peak. I don't think the theming is as strong, but I think and the music, I don't think it's as strong as Freezeezy Peak's. But some of the Jiggies are just really excellent. The ones that are like inside of the pyramids, you have like the puzzle that you have to do memory match. You have to go through the maze in a certain amount of time. It's, you know, it puts a lot of pressure on you. Flying through the ancient ones. There's a lot of fun stuff. I don't know. Don't know. Is this S tier? You know, you find Gobi here, the camel, and he's pretty fun. I kind of feel bad that you torture him here, though. I do think that there are some BS things though. Like, there's the one pyramid where you press the button and you have to use the running shoes to like go around the pyramid to the top and make it. I feel like that's a little too close to call. I think they should have added a little more time to that so you can like make the entrance to that. And the outside of the level, it's just a bunch of like tall hills that are just sand, and for the most part it can get kind of, you know, dull just climbing those over and over again. There's not much color to this place, which kind of hurts it as well. I get it, it's like a desert, but you know, usually desert places aren't all that much colorful. Yeah, I still think it's an amazing level. It's always fun to come here, and again, very catchy music. Mad Monster Mansion though, that one's tough, because I think this probably has the best theming in the whole, out of all the levels. This has like the best level theming out of them all, but it's not perfect. I will put it in the top of A tier, I think. This is a super solid level. The theming of the Halloween is just super strong. I love the spooky but, you know, kind of catchy tone of the music. I love the pumpkin transformation. It's probably my favorite in the game because it has the most usefulness. You need it to progress in the game. If you remember playing it, or if you haven't, you need the pumpkin to progress through the game. So that kind of makes it essential, and I really like it because of that. Makes the transformation feel important. And yeah, I love the pumpkin's usability in the world itself as well as outside the world. I love you going inside the mansion and you like being able to interact with ghosts. The toilet bit is pretty funny. I like the one thing I'm not that fond of is there's that one Jiggy where you're on top of like a glass cup and you have to slide around to spell your name out. So I was like, oh, it's another one of these Jiggies where you have to spell out your name again. So, you know, that one kind of is a bit of a buzz kill, but for the most part, it's all really, really fun to traverse this place and just immerse yourself in the Halloween spirit, I guess. It's just a really solid level. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, yeah, a reason I also put Gobi's Valley, I think, like underneath the rest, is because it doesn't really have a transformation. I feel like they could have done something. I know they could have made a unique transformation for a desert, but you know, same thing with Clanker's Cavern. It also doesn't have a transformation, so that kind of also hurts if they're being put, you know, under Spiral Mountain. Okay, so now we've got that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so now we're in the 8th world, which is Rusty Bucket Bay now. Okay, hear me out here. Hear me out. I think Rusty Bucket Bay is actually great. I actually really like Rusty Bucket Bay. That is probably the biggest hot take I have, because almost everyone I know that I see talk about this game hates this level. Probably not probably not, some of them probably don't hate it, but just like dislike it or just find it really irritating. I understand where a lot of you guys are coming from with this. I would say that the level itself outside of the ship is pretty manageable. It's just that it has a couple of like really narrow paths you have to follow, and you putting in the eggs for the toll is I guess a bit annoying, but I don't know. I personally just I think it's fine because there are like staircases that lead up and down from the water in multiple places, so it's kind of easy to get back up. And I actually like the oily water that kind of wastes your oxygen a lot faster if underwater, and even wastes while you're like above the water. I don't know, I kind of like that mechanic because it kind of puts a little, it's better than the icy water that hurts you. It's better than the piranha plant water that hurts you. I think this is a good compromise as it kind of keeps you on your toes when you're underwater. And I don't know, I think it's nice. I like that. But then the problem comes with the ship. There's like three or four windows you have to break to find some things, notes, and I think the notes in this place are a little too scattered about, and it kinda is a little annoying to get all 100 notes in this place because of how scattered they are. And it's because the ship has so many of them just like in these small little rooms, whether it's you entering through a window, going down a pipe, or something. Like, they really spread these out, and that is a little annoying. But the biggest annoyance of this place, yes, is that one room inside the ship with like the spinning pipes and spinning fans. The amount of times that I died here, despite my expertise of the game and like replaying this game so many times, I still die a lot of times at this place. And yeah, I got fed up with it, so I ended up just doing that room first. Like, I had enough, so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do this place first, take care of this, and then I can tackle the rest of the level. And that's what I ended up doing, and it works that way. So yeah, it does have a lot of its issues, but again, I love the music. I love the theming of this industrial harbor. I think is really nice, and I don't know, I like it. Okay, it does suck that it doesn't have a transformation, but I can't really think of something that you could become in this place, so it makes sense. All right, now for the final, the ninth world, Click Clock Wood. This one has become quite controversial lately. As far as I've seen, it's either your favorite or it's your least liked because of just how obtuse it can be. Easy S tier. I don't think it's my favorite. I still think these two are above it, but the theming is really strong. I love how it's like one level split into 4 seasonal variants. It's a unique take on like a platformer doing this kind of thing. I love how each of those seasonal representations, interpretations, have like their own unique things you can do and interact with, things that change in between when you go from one to the other. I don't know, I just really like it. I just feel like there are a couple of things that could make this, higher, and that's better note placement. Same issue with like Rusty Bucket Bay, for example. I feel like having one of the seasons have most of the notes is kind of a bad idea. It would be better to just evenly disperse them throughout each season so that each one can have a bit more balance, and I feel like it wouldn't take as long to get all the notes. And the bee transformation here, it's cool. I think it's like my second favorite transformation because again, it's useful outside of the level, so you can get like a jiggy or so. And inside the level, you can go inside the beehive. You can reach. You can go on all like the Venus flytraps enemies. You can land on them, so you can get those things, so you don't have to waste health or use a invisibility feather as Banjo to get those things. And you can also reach a jiggy way up high in the tree, so it does have quite a bit of usefulness. So great transformation. And it's also funny how Mumbo does something different in each season, and in winter he's like all done. He's like in vacation. He's not even there anymore. Pretty funny. But I still think it would be nice if you could use the transformation in anything other than just spring. In summer, it would have made sense because, you know, bees and wasps, they're mostly prominent in the spring and summer. So I just thought it would be obvious to those two seasons at least be the ones that have the transformation, but no, it's just spring, so kind of sucks. But yeah, I love the music. Theming's really strong. I love its unique concept of the 4-season split. And yeah, I think it's a fantastic way to finish the game with the levels. Oh boy. my throat's starting to hurt. I've been talking so much. Okay, so let's see here. Now to deliberate whether I should switch some of these up. Okay, let's see. Click Clockwood, Martin's Mansion, Freezeezy Peak, Gobi's Valley. I'm kind of thinking of bumping up Monster Mansion to S. Maybe. I think I might. I don't know. It's really cool. It's just that one or two of the jiggies just aren't that fun to obtain, and I don't really like the maze, the hedge maze that they have there. It feels kind of pointless, honestly, because you can just climb on top of the hedge and just skip all of it anyway. Okay, I'll keep it an A. At top of A tier, I think is fine. So yeah, I think this is good. In S tier, we have Gruntilda's Lair as my favorite, Treasure Trove Cove, and Click Clock Wood. In A tier, we have Mad Monster Mansion, Freezeezy Peak, Gobi's Valley. In B tier, we have Spiral Mountain, Rusty Bucket Bay, and Clanker's Cavern. In C tier, we have Mumbo's Mountain and Bubblegloop Swamp. And yeah, I think that's it. That's my tier list of the levels in Banjo-Kazooie. Again, when I do my replay of Banjo-Tooie soon, when I get that done, I'll do a follow-up video to this doing the levels of Banjo-Tooie. And yeah, if you enjoyed this, go ahead also check out my Mario series tier list as well if you haven't seen that. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.